This journey, and it's not been easy, oh. In fact, I nearly crazy, but I no give up, oh. Finally, story don't change. See me now, I don't graduate. Was very wrong. Fast, I felt like giving up, but I kept on going on. Determined to get to the top. Now I don't finish to God be the glory. See me now, I don't graduate. Oh yeah, see me now. Congratulations, it's my graduation. Congratulations, it's my graduation. Congratulations, it's my graduation.
Look at the camera.
If you know say you be proud of your beginning, make you the shine your light. So follow me, follow me, shine your light. The bango le walk, we will not
members of the government, our dear esteemed Aisb Board of Trustees, all protocol respected. Good morning, everyone.
Excellences, ambassadeurs et membres du corps diplomatique, honorables membres du gouvernement, Madame Lydie Pongo, ministre de la Culture, de l'Industrie culturelle, touristique, artistique et des loisirs, Madame Inès Nefer-Ngali, ministre de la Promotion de la Femme et de l'Intégration de la Femme au Développement, Monsieur Luc Joseph Okio, ministre délégué auprès du Premier ministre chargé de la réforme de l'État, représenté par M. Serge Patrick Sylvain-Corentin, directeur de la coopération. Madame Delphine Edith Abouki, ministre de l'Enseignement supérieur, représentée par M. Ginga, directeur de cabinet, et sans oublier M. le ministre Basile Ikwebe. Nos chers membres du conseil d'administration de l'Aisb, tout protocole respecté.
Dear students, families, faculty, staff and honored guests, it is my profound pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2025, celebrated today under the theme, Honoring the Past, Embracing the Future. As I look out at these sea of faces, eager faces, graduates ready to step into the world, I am filled with pride, nostalgia, and unshakable confidence in all you will achieve.
Bonjour à tous et à toutes et à tous, étudiants, familles, corps enseignants, personnel et invités d'honneur. C'est avec une profonde joie que je vous souhaite la bienvenue à la cérémonie de remise des diplômes de la promotion 2025, célébrée aujourd'hui sous le thème « Honorer le passé, embrasser l'avenir ». Regardons cette mer de visages impatients, ces diplômés prêts à entrer dans les mondes. Je suis rempli de fierté, de nostalgie et d'une confiance inébranlable en tout ce que vous accomplirez.
When these wonderful young women and men first walked through our doors in 2013, our campus was still little more than a dream and a construction site. 3 of you, Dorcas, Emmanuel, and Collins, joined us in kindergarten that year, the very first class to make this school your home. I had the privilege and joy of being your teacher then. And wide-eyed and hopeful as you were, sharing in every discovery and milestone, from tracing letters on the whiteboard to learning how to tie your shoelaces, those early days set the foundation for a journey we celebrate today.
Lorsque ces jeunes femmes et jeunes hommes remarquables ont franchi nos portes pour la première fois en 2013, notre campus n'était encore qu'un rêve et un chantier de construction. 3 d'entre vous, Dorcas, Emmanuel et Collins, nous ont rejoints en maternelle cette année-là, la toute première classe à faire de cette école leur maison. J'ai eu le privilège et la joie d'être votre enseignante à cette époque, aussi émerveillée et pleine d'espoir que vous l'étiez, partageant chaque découverte et chaque étape importante. Depuis tracer des lettres sur le tableau blanc jusqu'à apprendre à faire ses lacets, ces premiers jours ont posé les bases d'un parcours que nous célébrons ce soir.
No story is complete without recognizing those who made it possible. Aux parents de la promotion 2025, veuillez vous lever afin que nous puissions vous applaudir comme il se doit. These are the parents of the class of 2025. Please, they're all standing already. So we can give you the round of applause that you so richly deserve. Mr. and Mrs. Okoko, Mr. and Mrs. Kiba, Mr. and Mrs. Viban, Mr. and Mr. Achu, thank you very much. You may take your seats. You were true visionaries and risk takers, enrolling your children before our walls were even completed, because you believed in the Aisb founder's vision. You entrusted us with your greatest treasure, and your faith has borne fruit in every lesson learned, every friendship forged, and every accomplishment won.
Aucune histoire ne serait complète sans reconnaître ceux qui l'ont rendu possible. Aux parents de la promotion 2025 que nous venons d'applaudir, vous avez été de véritables visionnaires et preneurs de risques. Inscrivons vos enfants avant même que nos murs soient achevés, car vous croyez en la vision des fondateurs de l'Aisb. Vous nous avez confié votre plus grande richesse et votre foi a porté ses fruits dans chaque leçon apprise, chaque amitié nouée et chaque succès remporté.
Today, we also honor the first teachers who nurtured this inaugural kindergarten class. Apart from Collins Viban, who came with an early gift of English, the rest of the students arrived speaking little or no English at all. Yet their devoted teachers met every challenge with creativity, patience, and commitment. They taught them the sounds of a new language, the wonder of reading their first story, and the joy of expressing themselves confidently. For their courage and dedication, we salute you, teachers.
Aujourd'hui, nous rendons également hommage aux premiers enseignants qui ont encadré cette première classe maternelle. À l'exception de Collins Vivan, qui est arrivé avec un don précoce sur l'anglais, le reste des élèves parlaient peu ou pas du tout anglais. Pourtant, leurs éducateurs dévoués ont relevé chaque défi avec créativité, patience et engagement. Ils leur ont enseigné les sons d'une nouvelle langue, la magie de lire leur première histoire et la joie de s'exprimer avec confiance. Pour leur courage et leur dévouement, nous vous saluons.
A special thank you goes to our high school teachers who guided these graduates through their most formative years. You challenged them academically, mentored them through life's complexities, and helped them discover their passions. From late-night study sessions to career counseling, you have been mentors, advocates, role models. Please join me in recognizing our outstanding high school faculty. Mr. Hawk, please rise. Mr. Wheel. Ms. Rasha, Mr. Chris, Mr. Kerrick in absentia, and Mr. Aliyun. Thank you very much for leading our students through this critical final stretch.
Donc un merci tout particulier à nos enseignants du lycée qui viennent d'être reconnus, qui ont guidé ces diplômés durant leur année les plus formatrices. Vous les avez challengés académiquement, encadrés face aux complexités de la vie et aidés à découvrir leur passion. Des sessions d'études tard dans la nuit au conseil de carrière, vous avez été des mentors, des défenseurs et des modèles. Merci à tous pour avoir mené nos étudiants sur cette étape cruciale.
Our celebration would not be complete without honoring the founders of Aisb and the African Foundation for Education. These are visionaries who dream of a world-class international school of Congo, whose dream of a world-class educational school in Congo took root in 2013 and has since grown into a beacon of educational excellence. Their foresight has shaped generations of learners who are now excelling around the globe. Joignez-vous à moi pour ovationner nos fondateurs pour leur esprit pionnier et leurs engagements sans faille. Please join me in giving our founders a thunderous applause for their pioneering spirit and steadfast commitment.
Notre célébration ne serait pas complète sans rendre hommage aux fondateurs de l'Aisb et à la Fondation africaine pour l'éducation. Visionnaire dont le rêve d'une école internationale de classe mondiale au Congo a germé en 2013 et qui est depuis devenu un phare d'excellence éducative. Leur clairvoyance a façonné des générations d'apprenants qui excellent aujourd'hui à travers le monde. Un grand merci à vous.
In the spirit of gratitude, we acknowledge the school's leadership, past and present. Each director and administration contributed to every milestone we celebrate today. Just this year, we earned the coveted IB Continuum status, becoming an IB World School, offering the full suite of programs from the primary years program to the diploma program. We also secured our Middle States Association reaccreditation for the next 7 years. These achievements ensure that our graduates have dual pathways to universities worldwide, broadening their horizons and unlocking limitless opportunities.
Dans le même esprit de gratitude, nous saluons la direction de l'école, passée et présente. Chaque directeur et chaque administration ont contribué à chaque étape que nous célébrons aujourd'hui. Cette année, nous avons obtenu le prestigieux statut du baccalauréat international continuum, devenant une école du monde de l'Aisb, baccalauréat international, proposant l'ensemble des programmes, de l'école primaire au diplôme. Nous avons également obtenu la réaccréditation de la Middle States Association pour les 7 prochaines années. Ces réussites assurent à nos diplômés des parcours au double vers les universités du monde entier, élargissant leurs horizons et leur offrant des opportunités illimitées. Merci.
Of course, none of these would be possible without the tireless work of the graduation committee, who meticulously planned this event, our support and maintenance crew who keep our facilities safe and welcoming, our IT specialists who ensure every screen and device works at a click of a button, librarians who guide curious minds to the right books, counselors who listen, advise, and uplift, and office staff who manage schedules, records, and the myriad details that keep our school running smoothly.
Bien sûr, tout cela n'aurait pas été possible sans le travail infatigable du comité de remise des diplômes qui a méticuleusement organisé cet événement. Notre équipe de soutien et de maintenance qui veille à la sécurité et la convivialité de nos installations, nos spécialistes en informatique qui assurent le bon fonctionnement de chaque écran et appareil, nos bibliothécaires qui guident les esprits curieux vers les bons livres, nos conseillers qui écoutent, conseillent et encouragent, et le personnel administratif qui gère les emplois du temps, les dossiers et tous les détails nécessaires au bon fonctionnement de notre école.
Montrons notre profonde reconnaissance à ces héros méconnus dont le travail soutient chaque histoire de succès que naît de nos murs. Let us show our deep appreciation for these unsung heroes whose labor underpins every success story that emerges from our halls. Put our hands together for our heroes. We are deeply grateful to the United States Embassy for its steadfast support of our school. Through security assistance, social and emotional health resources, logistical guidance, and board membership, the embassy enhances our programs and stands with our graduates as they embark on the next steps. Their partnership has strengthened our campus's safety, enriched our students' well-being, and opened doors to opportunities at home and abroad.
Nous sommes profondément reconnaissants à l'ambassade des États-Unis pour son soutien indéfectible à notre école. Par l'aide à la sécurité, les ressources pour la santé sociale et émotionnelle, l'orientation logistique et la participation au conseil d'administration, l'ambassade des États-Unis renforce nos programmes et accompagne nos diplômés dans leur prochain pas. Leur partenariat a renforcé la sécurité de notre campus, enrichi le bien-être de nos étudiants et ouvert des portes à des opportunités nationales et internationales.
We also extend our gratitude to our special guests, board members, our guest speaker, members of government, alumni, community partners, and friends of Aisb whose guidance, generosity, and encouragement have enriched our community. Your presence here today honors our graduates and underscores the strength of collaboration in education.
Nous remercions également tous nos invités spéciaux, les membres du conseil d'administration, notre conférencier invité, représentants du gouvernement, anciens élèves, partenaires communautaires et amis de l'Aisb, dont les conseils, la générosité et l'encouragement ont enrichi notre communauté. Votre présence aujourd'hui honore nos diplômés et souligne la force de la collaboration dans l'éducation.
And who could forget the heartwarming aromas and delectable spreads provided by our caterer and decorator, Fouchet Bantu, today. You nourish our bodies just as our teachers nourish our minds. Thank you for adding flavor to this celebration and countless other school events throughout the years.
Et qui pourrait oublier les arômes chaleureux et les délices proposés aujourd'hui par notre traiteur et décorateur, fourchette dans tout. Vous nourrissez nos corps, tout comme nos enseignants nourrissent nos esprits. Merci d'avoir apporté saveur à cette célébration et à d'innombrables autres événements scolaires au fil des années.
Now it is time to shine the spotlight on the stars of the day, our graduates. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Nelly Aisb. Nelly, may you rise. Nelly Aisb will pursue her degree in architectural engineering at Penn State University. Nelly joined her class 2 years ago, and her arrival awakened the rest of them from years of familiarity into a culture of healthy competition. Her adaptability, outstanding academic achievements, and boundless kindness spurred every one of you to reach higher heights. Thank you, Nelly, for inspiring your classmates. Dorcas Kiba. Dorcas Kiba would be pursuing her studies in political science at Drexel University. Dorcas's passion for justice, her skill in debate and compassion for underserved communities promise a career that will shape policies and touch lives. Thank you, Dorcas. Emmanuel Okoko. Emmanuel will be pursuing his degree in finance at Temple University. Emmanuel's analytical mind and entrepreneurial spirit have driven him into the world of finance. We foresee him making sound investments, not only in the stock market, but in the future of our global economy. Helmut Collins Viban. Collins will pursue a degree in civil engineering at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Even as our lone kindergarten with fluent English on the first day, Collins displayed curiosity and has been fascinated by structures. We expect him to build bridges, both literal and metaphorical, in the years ahead. Thank you, Collins.
L'Université de Penn State. Nelly a rejoint sa classe il y a 2 ans et son arrivée a réveillé le reste d'entre eux, sortant d'une familiarité rassurante pour entrer dans une culture de saine compétition. Son adaptabilité, ses résultats académiques exceptionnels et sa gentillesse infinie ont encouragé chacun d'entre eux à aller plus haut. Merci Nelly d'inspirer tes camarades. Dorcas Kiba. Dorcas étudiera les sciences politiques à l'université de Drexel. La passion de Dorcas pour la justice, ses talents en débat et sa compassion pour les communautés défavorisées promettent une carrière qui façonnera les politiques et touchera des vies. Félicitations, Dorcas. Emmanuel Okoko. Emmanuel prévoit de se spécialiser en finance à l'université Temple. L'esprit analytique et l'esprit entrepreneurial d'Emmanuel l'ont conduit dans le monde de la finance. Nous le voyons faire des investissements judicieux, non seulement sur le marché boursier, mais aussi pour l'avenir de notre économie mondiale. N'oublie pas Aisb. Et finalement, Collins Viban. Collins poursuivra un diplôme en génie civil à l'Université de Caroline du Nord, Charlotte. Même en tant que seul élève de maternelle parlant couramment l'anglais, ce premier jour, quand il est arrivé, Collins a montré de la curiosité et a été fasciné par les structures. Nous l'attendons à construire des ponts, littéraux comme métaphoriques, dans les années à venir. Toute de la France.
Two of our graduates, Nelly and Collins, hail from Cameroon. 2 from Congo, Dorcas and Emmanuel, and all 4 carry with them the hopes of their nations and communities. As you explore new horizons, whether designing buildings, shaping policy, driving economic growth, or building infrastructure, remember to give back. Use your talents and education to uplift your home countries. Mentor those who follow and strengthen the bonds between nations.
Nos 4 gradués viennent de 2 pays différents, du Congo et du Cameroun. Alors qu'ils allons poursuivre leur trajectoire académique, que ce soit dans la construction des bâtiments, dans la finance ou dans les sciences politiques, nous vous invitons tous à continuer à construire des ponts et à redonner aux communautés que vous avez laissées derrière, à servir de mentor à ceux qui vous suivront et de continuer à guider les pas dans cette vie et pour tout ce qui vous attend.
Please join me in celebrating these 4 graduates who have worked tirelessly, overcome obstacles, and honed their minds and hearts for the world beyond these walls. Put your hands together for them, please.
Derrière nous pour féliciter ces 4 diplômés.
Drawing from our collective experience, most recently the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, I offer this piece of advice as you embark on your next journey. Stay calm and hold fast to hope. No condition is permanent, and every setback can become a stepping stone when met with resilience and a positive attitude. Your past teaches you that you can adapt, learn, and thrive even at the most uncertain times. Let that confidence be your guide.
Alors que vous apprêtez à embarquer dans cette prochaine étape de votre vie, après les expériences que nous avons retenues de la période du Covid, je vous offre ce conseil. Restez calme. Vos enseignants du passé vous ont inculqué les notions de la résilience et de la confiance en soi. Et nous sommes convaincus que vous pourrez affronter les défis qui se présentent devant vous avec toute la confiance qui est nécessaire pour réussir.
And so, graduates, as you move forward, remember the past that has shaped you and the community that supports you. Honor the foundations that laid by your parents, your teachers, your founders, and every member of this school family, visible and behind the scenes, who helped you reach this moment. Embrace the future with open minds, kind hearts, and boundless ambition. The world awaits your ideas, your leadership, and your compassion.
Alors que le monde qui se présente à vous s'ouvre, nous voulons vous rappeler la chose suivante et les principes que vos enseignants vous ont appris. N'oubliez pas la communauté que vous allez laisser derrière. Soyez toujours prêts à redonner aux autres. Ouvrez vos cœurs et vos esprits au monde qui est présent devant vous et continuez à persévérer dans la destinée qui vous est promise.
Class of 2025, you carry with you the legacy of our school's beginnings and the promise of all that is yet to come. Congratulations and thank you to everyone here today, to those who could not join us, and to every hand that has lifted these graduates to new heights. May your next steps be bold, your dreams be vast, and your spirits remain ever grateful. Here's to honoring the past as we embrace the future together. Congratulations.
Aux diplômés de cette promotion, nous vous rappelons que vous portez avec vous les promesses et les rêves de ceux qui vous ont précédés. Continuez à les porter avec vous comme une inspiration et toujours garder en soi le courage et la détermination de ceux qui vous ont aidés, qui vous ont accompagnés, qu'ils soient visibles ou invisibles, qu'ils soient présents ou timides. Continuez à garder ces enseignements et portez avec vous les rêves de toute une génération.
Thank you.
Merci.
Now we're going to welcome the salutatorian. The salutatorian is an academic title conferred upon the second highest ranking student in a graduating class. Put your hands together for Dorcas Kiba.
Dear parents, teachers, students, family, friends, and members of the board. My name is Dorcas Kiba, and I'm honored to stand in front of you today as the Class of 2025 Salutatorian. I am so honored to be able to deliver this opening speech to you all this morning, speaking on behalf of my class to welcome you all to the celebration of our accomplishments over these past 4 years, or I would say 12 years for Emmanuel, Collins, and I. Yes, that's exact. On March 13th, 2013, the three of us took our very first steps here into Aisb as wide-eyed little kids, not knowing just how much this place would shape our lives. From learning how to read and write from our early years with Dr. Viban, to learning how to write 1,000-word essays at 2 a.m. because of Mr. Will. I'd say that we've all grown up within these walls. ASB has been more than a school. It's been a second home and continues to be a home for everyone that steps foot in here. Standing here today, I can see that the journey has been long, sometimes challenging, but truly unforgettable. As the theme of this year's graduation reminds us that the journey continues, today is not just an ending, it's a checkpoint, a moment to pause, to breathe, and to look back at how far we've come. Before we move forward to what's next, we have waited for this moment for our whole lives. And it's sad to see that it's actually here. When we were told that we were the class of 2025, I remember us wanting this day to come really quickly. Each year we saw our friends leaving. We craved the cap and gown, the graduation dance and music, and all of this just to be finished in one day. We wanted time to fly, we wanted to grow up, and now that it is 2025, we wanted to stop and want to be little kids again. It has been 4,474 days since our first day of kindergarten. All this time, but it only felt like 1 minute. 1 minute until the whistle blows, 1 minute until practice is over, and 1 minute until lunch. Now we are entering a chapter of our lives, and we are feeling the emotions of fear, uncertainty. But all we can do is give glory to God and thank everyone in our lives that have supported us along the way. In times of uncertainty, true leadership is born, not just in others, but in learning how to leave ourselves. We may not know exactly what lies ahead, but we know what values we've been taught, the strength we've gained, and the faith we carry. And with that, we step forward, not with fear, but with purpose, ready to be leaders in our own stories in the world around us. Thank you to our families, friends, for their endless loves and support throughout our journey. Kanitu Obenga, thank you for the tough love that I have received from you throughout my journey. Your tough love has shaped me into the young woman I am today, building accountability, ambition, and responsibility. Thank you to my mom, who has always been nothing but a solid quartz rock that would switch the softest pillow in just seconds when I needed it. An example of patience, unconditional love, and anything else in the world. Parents, I stand here today to tell you that the sacrifices were not meaningless, that we will continue to put in the topmost effort into our studies because we know the amount of hard work you got to bring us here. This is a step in the right direction, but it isn't the top. Be assured that we are just getting started. Your late nights, early mornings, and endless support have not gone unnoticed. We carry your sacrifices with us, not as a burden, but as motivation. Lastly, I would like to appreciate everyone who made this day possible. Thank you to our administration, faculty, and teachers for their endless support and help that have pulled us up to this exact day. Thank you, Dr. Viban, for being in our lives, for helping us every step of the way, applications and life-wise. You are more than a director to us, you are a mother, and you know it. To Tata Fatima and Tonton Berka, whose heart is bigger than any normal person I know. Thank you for being a mom and a dad to us, welcoming everyone as your own child. We have learned and will mimic the kindness as much as we can. To Mr. Alyun, no words can describe how much we love and appreciate you. Your name is at every graduation ceremony because you're the only person who truly wants to know us, push us, and truly see us win. There isn't enough time to mention how much we're grateful to all of the educators we've had this year and over the previous two. Mr. Magambo, we haven't forgot about you, and we tell you today that we will certainly take a different approach to college. Class of 2025, as Antoine Saint-Exupéry said, tomorrow's truth is fed with yesterday's mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I cannot even stress this enough. Overthinking about them without learning them or learning something from them only holds you back. Remembering that mistakes are not signs of failure and that they're stepping stones, lessons, and sometimes even blessings in disguise. Thank you.
I'll give a little bio of who our guest speaker is. Eugene S. Young, a career member of Senior Foreign Service, class of Minister Counselor, is a U.S. ambassador to the Republic of Congo. Previously, he served as Economic Counsel of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, Israel. Ambassador Young was the Chargé d'Affaires, AI, and Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in Vienna, Austria. The consul and senior civilian representative of the U.S. Consulate in Herat, Afghanistan, and the Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in Ljubljana, Slovenia. Earlier, he was the Economic Counsel of the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya, and the Consul General of the U.S. Consulate General in Durban, South Africa. Among Ambassador Young's other assignments, he served as a Special Assistant in the Office of Deputy Secretary of State, as a Senior Watch Officer in the State Department's Operations Center, and as a Desk Officer for Hungary in the State Department's Bureau of European and Eurasian Affairs. He was also a Sanctions Officer at the U.S. Mission to the United States and served on the Economic Policy staff of the State Department's Bureau of African Affairs. Overseas, he held assignments at the Embassy of Bratislava, Slovakia, the Embassy in Belgrade, Consulate General Zagreb and former Yugoslavia, and at the Embassy in Kingston, Jamaica. Ambassador Young earned his BA degree from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, and a master's degree from George Washington University in Washington, D.C. Mr. Ambassador speaks German, French, Slovene, Slovak, and Serbo-Croatian. Ambassador Young is married to Dr. Zoe Wilson, and they have 2 children. One of them is ours here. Let's welcome Ambassador Young on stage with a thunderous applause.
Bonjour à tous. Good morning. Bote nabino. Normalement, je dois donner tous mes discours en français, mais heureusement pour vous et pour moi, je peux donner ce discours aujourd'hui en anglais. Donc, et merci en avance pour votre attention. Dear Minister, Ambassadors, Dr. Viban, members of the Board of Trustees of AISB, dear graduates, dear students, parents, and friends, thank you so much for inviting me to speak on this momentous occasion. It is an absolute honor for me to be a part of this special day on behalf of the United States Embassy in Brazzaville and on behalf of the United States government in Washington. I want to start today by saluting the class of 2025. Dear Nellie, dear Collins, dear Dorcas, dear Emmanuel, this is a huge, huge day for you, and I know you know that already. It is probably the single biggest milestone in any life. You are jumping officially from childhood to adulthood. But I'm not going to congratulate you quite yet. We're going to do that in a minute. My first congratulations, and this already happened, but I want to do it myself, are for the parents, for Dr. Viban, the teachers, the administrators, the friends, and the extended family here and around the world. It is you who created the space, the opportunity, the care, and the feeding that brought our dear graduates to this auspicious moment. Let's give another round of applause, please, for all those who made this day possible. Applaudissements très, très forts pour les parents, pour l'administrateur, pour les éducateurs, etc., tous les amis, toutes les personnes qui ont donné, qui ont créé ce moment ici. I have to say that I'm a little bit jealous of this graduating class. In my graduating class, there were 454 students. And that was, just to show you how old I am, that was the class of 1980. And that's why that biography was so long that Dr. Viban just read. And I don't speak all of those languages. I think our biography needs to be updated. I used to speak little bits of those, and those who know me know my French is a little bit questionable. But I am jealous because I had a good group of friends in my high school with whom I am still in touch to this day. But you have a special bond, the four of you. Not just because of your class size, but because more importantly, you've had a globally unique school experience. You have been leading a life in Congo that is like no other. And I say that as somebody who has now spent almost the last 3.5 years of my life in Congo. And despite more than a few challenges living and studying here, Congo and AISB provided an environment with a certain space, a certain kindness, a certain calm, and a range of memories that no one else in the world has experienced. From the people of Congo, to the food, to the style, to the music, to the forests and the mighty rivers, the ocean and the mountains and the wildlife, few others have this experience. It's one of the reasons why I'm so happy that my own children have the experience to be in Congo. There are very few Americans, very few people who get to have this opportunity. So you're very lucky, and I like I said, I'm a little bit jealous. And all of you are going to the United States for university, and very few of your future classmates will be familiar with this part of the world. But I very much hope you will share it with them. I know you will get a lot out of your experience in the United States, but I also know Americans will learn a lot from you. And I am an ambassador, but you are too. And you will be in the United States. So Dorcas said something a minute ago about how everything passed in a minute. So I don't want to jump too quickly to the next stage in your life adventure. Seriously enjoy your break from studies in the next couple of months. You earned a vacation. You earned a respite from the IB program. I'm sure you're ready for a day with no mention of IB in your life. So be proud, accept your accolades, go ahead and get started for the next step, but this period of time, do the things that you love. Be with the people you love to be with. Eat the food that you love. Have the experiences you love, and please sleep a little bit longer every morning. You are entering the space between high school and university. And I can attest, this space is very short. It's a very quick one. So celebrate, have a blast before you head off to do the next thing. Don't let this moment pass without truly embracing and celebrating your success right now. So all of you are headed to university in America, and it makes me very excited. But there's going to be some changes in your life. American universities, these are all, by the way, excellent American universities. American universities in Philadelphia, in Charlotte, and State College, Pennsylvania. These are really big cities to a very true college town and where Penn State is located. From large universities to very large universities. Drexel University is the smallest student population of these 4 universities, but it still has 22,000 students. Temple and University of North Carolina, Charlotte have over 30,000 students. And if you add up every campus of Penn State University, there are 88,000 students at Pennsylvania State University. So it sounds a little bit overwhelming, but it's not. You will find your space, you will find your friends and your interests among these large places. And those interests and those friends, they will find you too. It will be a change from AISB, but it will be an incredible adventure for which you are absolutely prepared. So this is an aside. You all know this, but the weather is not quite the same as it is here in the United States. It's going to be a little bit cold sometimes, but embrace the difference and embrace the traditions that come with the 4 seasons in America. But here's some things that are not different. The universities that you attend, they want you to succeed, just like AISB wanted you to succeed. It matters to them. And just like here at AISB, if from the very first day you are prepared, you study hard, you work hard, and you utilize all the resources available, you will be successful. And part of that success will come from a quality that you've already nurtured here, and that's openness. Be open to the diversity of America. When you go to these universities, there's going to be people from everywhere in the world, everywhere in the United States. And all those people will come from every tradition that exists on the planet, every religion that exists on the planet, every language that exists on the planet. So be open to that diversity, as I know that you are. Be open to the educational options that are available. The experiences that are available in each of those regions. There's a lot of history, a lot of things to look at and to study and to be a part of. Be open to the complexity that is the United States of America. I think America is the most overexposed country in the world in the media. Every single day in every country in the world, there's at least one story about the United States of America. Some of them are good, some of them are not so great. But what it means is there's a lot of people who think they know a lot about the United States, but they never went to the United States, or they never met an American. You're going to have the true experience. And you're going to make your own decisions and your own judgments, and you're going to understand the good, the bad, the difficult, and the awesome in the United States. And like every single country in the world, there is so much more to be learned when you're there than on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. So take it all in. Take it all in. I have to say I'm incredibly impressed with this class. I'm impressed with the work that you will do, from political science to finance to engineering. These are challenging degree programs in the United States, but they will be very rewarding for you and everyone around you in the long term. I'm so impressed with your courage, new learning, a new country, new accents, new ways of doing things. Americans sound different depending on where you are and who you're talking to and where they're from. I sound a certain way because I came from Buffalo, New York, so everybody in Buffalo talks a little bit like this. But if you're in the South, you get a different accent. If you're in Boston or New York, you're going to get a different accent. So it'll take a little time to tune your ear. And honestly, it's going to be hard in the beginning. It's going to be hard. But most Americans are very friendly and are very helpful. It's easy for me to say I'm American, so I'm going to say that. But in my experience, I know the first time I went to New York City, I was scared to go to New York City. I was frightened to death to go to New York City. And I went to New York and I'm walking around, I'm looking at my map, and this is again how old I am. This is before cell phones. This is before when you had to actually use a paper map. I'm looking at my map, and people in New York are walking up, hey, how can I help you? What are you looking for? Where do you need to go? And that was New York City, which is supposed to be the toughest city in America. People are going to be friendly and helpful to you wherever you go. They're going to want to help you, and you will adapt faster than you can imagine. But again, I repeat, it's going to be tough. So find your routine, find your space as soon as you can, and work hard from the very start. It will absolutely pay off. And this is going to be an incredibly rewarding experience. There is so much to do just on every campus of those 4 universities. There are going to be activities in music and theater and athletics. So many new people. They're going to become your lifelong friends. And this is really the last time, and this is, I remember, so Dorcas talked about a minute passing. My university experience passed in a minute. I was 4 years at Miami University in Ohio. This is the only time, the last time I should say, in your life where you're going to be in a location that is almost entirely populated with people who are your age trying to achieve exactly the same thing. It's an amazing experience. It is so much fun to be with a group of people that are all trying to moving in a similar direction at that same moment in your life. I still, and all Americans, and I think everyone here remembers well their university experience. It is a bridge to your full adulthood, but take the time to enjoy and acknowledge every minute that you're there and going through that. Take everything you can from it. So in the United States, when we have graduation events, the graduation speaker is supposed to give some advice, just like Dr. Viban gave you some advice a moment ago. It's good advice to stay calm. Personally, I'm not very good at it, so I hope that you're better than me at that. You can change your mind about what it is you want to do in the United States, in a United States university system. If you walk in that door and you see some other courses, or you learn some other things, it's okay to look at the other option. I'm not telling you should change. I think they're great degrees. But sometimes you think you know one thing, and then you get some new information. You get some new ideas. You talk to some new people. You learn about another profession. In the American university system, it's possible to make adjustments along the way. So be open to that possibility. Study first, have fun second. Now I just sound like a father, and I'm sure that's boring to hear, but I also wasn't very good at this all the time when I was a student. Get your work done and then go have a great time, and it'll always pay off. There is a lot of fun in America that doesn't cost money. There are all kinds of things to do that are free or easy to get to. So don't worry about that part of it. On your campus and amongst your friends, there are going to be many cool things to do in the parks and the open concerts and the activities. There's going to be a lot there for you. And every American university has so many clubs and so many sports. It's not just the top level university sports. You can play, I'm a terrible basketball player. I played basketball and intramural basketball in university because it was fun to do. I played sports I never heard of when I was in university because it was something to do and you could hang out with your friends and you kept yourself healthy. There's a lot of equipment, there's a lot of resources, a lot of support. So try all those different activities. It could be drama, it could be theater, it could be choir, it could be music. There's so many things there. Americans are not the same. Every American's different. It's the most crazy mixed up country you'll find. I know my Indian ambassador friend might disagree with me on that one, but I think there are so many different people you're going to meet there, and they're all different, and they're all interesting, and they all have a story. So I hope you get to know them. I hope you can travel a little bit if you can. America is a very large country. There's so much to see and do, and to have that experience behind you and have that in your background can only help you. There are incredible museums, amazing history, experiences, the culture, the various cultures, the many, many cultures in the United States. And like I said before, please share your life with Americans. Share your experience in Cameroon and Congo and all the other places you've been, including the languages that you know. And I'm not talking about French, I'm talking about all the other languages that you know. French is fine too, but there's so many, everybody here speaks, I'm so embarrassed, everybody here speaks 4 or 5 languages. It's amazing. Share that with people. And then in 4, and this is my last bit of advice, and I know this is getting too long, so I apologize, but in 4 or 6 or 8 years, when you finish your university experience, it's going to be another moment where you want to stop for a second and reflect on your success. If you can, I wish I could have done this, I didn't. There's always the idea that you go from university and you go straight to work. Once you start working, it's very hard to stop because you just rented an apartment or you bought a house or you did this or that or the other thing. Once you start working, it's like a thing you have to keep trying to do. But if you're able, and I know it's not always possible, but if you're able to take a little bit of time, maybe it's a few months, maybe it's a year, take a little break, do something you want to do, you've always wanted to do, spend some time with yourself. Because once you start down that work trail, it could go on and on and on. And it doesn't mean it's not fantastic and you're not gonna have great experience, but there's this moment in your life where you may have a chance to do that. So take that time and think about your family when you reach that point like you are today. And think about the country and the culture and the society that you're from. Reflect on those places as well. And like today, have a massive celebration again. And thank your family and remember this moment. Think about Aisb. Think about the time that you were here and how far you came while you were here and how far you came while you're in university in the United States. And now, I will say congratulations, félicitations. Obviously, I don't know you personally, but I and we are really proud of what you have done and what you're going to do, and we are very happy for each of you. And as I said at the beginning, you had a lot of help along the way, but you did this. You did the hard work. You made it possible to reach this next stage, and we cannot wait, and I think I speak for everyone here, we cannot wait to see what is next for each of you. Maton Domingui, thank you very much. Je vous remercie.
in over there, there were 6 roll-ups representing the 6 years Aisb has graduated students in high school. Some of our past students are here with us, and I would like to acknowledge them now. Besilan Beina, Thorsten Viban, Mohamed Dian, Shema Damango. I'm sure you saw their position today, very close to the board. They were walking in after the students, close to the board, so they're getting close to where some of us are right now. So today, one of them agreed to speak on behalf of the alumni to share his thoughts and experiences and perhaps offer some valuable advice to the class of 2025 as they begin this journey. This is none other than Thorsten Jones Viban. He graduated in 2023 and is currently going into his 3rd year of studies at Penn State University, where he majors in petroleum and gas engineering. Let's welcome OJ on stage.
All right, good morning, everyone. The last time I stood here was exactly 2 years ago. Never did I think I'd be back so soon. But here I am, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. For those who may not know me, my name is Thurston Jones Viban, and most of you know me as OJ. 2 years ago, I had the honor of delivering my valedictorian speech. And today, I'm just as honored to return as this year's alumni speaker. This moment is especially meaningful because this graduating class holds a special place in my heart. Not only is my younger brother among the graduates, but I've known many of these students since kindergarten. Watching them grow into incredible young adults they are today has been a privilege, and I couldn't be prouder. I may not have known Nelly for as long, but she's made a lasting impression and has been a wonderful addition to this class. While today is all about celebrating them and giving them their flowers, I especially want to give this person their special flowers, and that is Helman Collins Viban. Better recognized as AT or Bhutan or whichever name he goes by nowadays. I'm used to Helman, so I'm sticking with Helman. 5 years ago, if anyone told me he'd be standing here as the valedictorian, I probably wouldn't have believed them. But look at you now, proving everyone wrong. One thing I've always admired about you is you don't try to fit in around people. It's always the other way around. People try to fit in around you. And those are true signs of a leader. As your older brother, I just want to stand here and say how proud I am of you today. I've seen your journey, the highs and the lows, the search for identity, the constant evolution. It's been tough, especially on our mom. But you've shown real growth. There's still a lot more to do, but keep pushing. You're on the right path. Now as an alumni, I'm here to share a bit of advice about life beyond high school, even though I just graduated 2 years ago, but I'll give a little advice. So let me start by speaking to the classes that still have a few years left here. Enjoy this time, truly cherish it. Trust me, it goes by faster than you think. Honestly, sometimes I wish I was back in high school. And don't get me wrong, college is great and full of amazing experiences, but also it comes with its fair shares of challenges. For many, it's the first time being away from home, without parents or anyone else to rely on. You'll be figuring out things on your own. But all that is part of the learning experience, and that it shapes you in ways high school prepared you in ways that you don't know yet. To the graduating class, I just want to say, stay true to yourself always. Like the U.S. Ambassador said, you're stepping into a new journey, into a new chapter that is filled with new experiences, new people, and new environments. What you see on the media or going to the U.S. for the summer is completely different than actually living there and being a student. The outside world out there is nothing like Aisb, nothing like Brownsville, and definitely nothing like home. You're going to meet people from all walks of life with different beliefs, values, and perspectives. And all of that, remember to stay true to who you are. Don't lose yourself trying to fit in. Keep your roots close, stay grounded, and surround yourself with people who uplift you and people who challenge you to be better. And finally, to everyone, never forget those who are with you throughout your journey. No one gets through life alone. Whether it was a friend that stood by you, a teacher who believed in you, a family member who never gave up on you, whether success isn't just about reaching your goals, it's about honoring those who helped you get there. So when you move forward, don't forget to look back with gratitude. Thank you all once again, and to the class of 2025, congratulations. I wish you nothing but success, joy, and growth in everything that lies ahead. Thank you.
We have come to the most important part of the ceremony, and that is the conferring of diplomas to our graduates. Today marking a significant milestone in their lives, as they'll be receiving the high school diplomas, it is my pleasure and privilege to preside over this occasion, and I'll be inviting on stage the Ambassador of the United States of America in Congo, Minister of Culture, Madame Didi Pongolt, the Ambassador of India, and the board members to join us on stage, and the Ambassador of Cameroon. Please join us on stage. May the two advisors for this year's class of 2025 help us with the diplomas when I call. Let's stick on there. Yes, please come on stage. The two advisors for this year's class of 2025 help us with the diplomas when I call. Yes, please. Shake hands. Collins Vivan. and academic achievement, it is my pleasure to present you with high school diploma from Aisb. Congratulations on reaching this important milestone. Ladies and gentlemen, by the power vested in me by the Aisb Board of Trustees, I hereby declare you graduates of the class of 2025. Let's give them a round of applause. This action signifies the transition from students to graduates of Aisb and the beginning of a new chapter in your lives. Okay, at this point, I would invite your high school teachers to come and decorate you with honor cords. Also braided strands with tassels that are worn by graduates at graduation ceremonies to recognize their achievements. We may decorate your students. Okay, this is the time for all faculty to step up for a family picture. Just faculty members. All te-
Tire, va tirer, tire. Faut tirer bien sûr.
Bold and grand. From sunny mornings to long exam nights, from shared glances to silent fights, you've carved your name in every page of Aisb's short but golden age. Two brothers in stride, strong and wise, with dreams reflecting in fearless eyes. Two sisters like stars, fierce and free, lifting each other up through every degree. You've danced through deadlines, dreamed through stress, still carried your culture with quite finesse. Not just students, but symbols of pride, carrying continents at your side. Graduation isn't an end, it's a start. But it's okay to speak from the heart. We'll miss the jokes, the style, the flair, the sounds of home braided in your hair. You showed us that strength wears many skins, that greatness doesn't ask permission, it begins. Whether you walk through Brazzaville skies or chase your future where the hawk flies, just know your story is loud and true. AISB is better for having you. So here's to the four, our yaya, our crew. No matter the distance, we will always love you.
All my ladies, say
I'm on the run. Enemies come, fire burn. No man can say, no man can say, ale, ale, ale.
Personally, personally, I go deal with you. It's like you shoot. It's like you shoot.
Dance. At this point, I'm going to introduce this year's valedictorian. A valedictorian is an academic title conferred upon the highest ranked student among those graduating from an educational institution, typically based upon the highest grade point average, which is the GPA, earned during the entire 4 years of high school. Our class of 2025 valedictorian hails from Cameroon. He joined Aisb on April 1st, 2013. I had a brief interview with him, and he revealed that his secret to his success has been consistency and working even when he didn't feel like it. Put your hands together for Helmut Collins Viban.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Helmut Collins Viban, and I have the distinct honor of standing here today as your 2025 valedictorian. This morning's ceremony carries the theme, honoring the past and embracing the future, a perfect summary of what today means to us. So let's begin by looking back at where we started. 3 out of 4 students on this stage first walked into Aisb at the age of 5, back in kindergarten. We basically grew up together, from trying our first shoelaces in elementary hallways to trying our graduation sashes this morning. We've been classmates, teammates, and most importantly, family for almost our entire lives. We've survived Mr. Chris's test and Mr. Will's writing assignments. We've survived 10 straight years of planning 3 performances a year, whether it be Christmas show, International Day, or FOPAs. We've survived high school, and we survived together. And now, as we move on to the next chapter of our lives, let's remember that we didn't come to school to learn to solve for X or pass a test. We learned to adapt, like during COVID when social distancing rules turned our bedrooms into classrooms for nearly a year. And perhaps most importantly, we learned to value our differences, the habits that make us us, like planning events and canceling at the last minute. You all have been part of some of the best memories of my life. Here's to the journeys that last and the friendships that will last long after today. I've been at Aisb for more than 12 years now, and my time here has been filled with laughter, tears, and countless joyful moments. As I prepare to embrace the future, I must honor the people who shaped my past. First, God and my family. Mom, thank you for never giving up on me. Thank you for praying for me and with me at all times. Dad, thank you for raising me to be a strong, confident, responsible, yes, and handsome young man. Yeah. Cyril, you're my role model. Thurston, you're my inspiration, my God, and my partner. Junior, you're the best little brother anybody could ever ask for. Thank you to my aunties and uncles who travel all the way from Germany and Cameroon to make this day special. Thank you for making this journey and proving that family knows no borders. Now, to our teachers. Thank you to every teacher who showed us that school isn't about being perfect. It's about learning from our mistakes and growing from them. Thank you to the teachers who granted deadline extensions when life got complicated, and to those who made school a fun and experimental place to be. A special shout out to our elementary teachers, the people who taught us to read, count, share, and dream. And particularly, please help me in thanking our kindergarten teacher, Dr. Laura Viban. Dr. Laura Viban, who doubles as my mom, has been with Aisb since 2013 and was there to welcome most of us when we were 5. Thank you for still cheering us on a decade later. While honoring the past, I'm with... I'm not crying, child. While honoring the past, I must also honor someone who sadly cannot be here with us today, Ms. Cooper. My grade 5 teacher, Ms. Cooper identified with me, cracked the code I wish many others could decode, and helped me recognize my strength I wish I never knew I had. From that year onward, she taught me to cherish my individuality because we can't all be the same. Ms. Cooper, wherever you are, thank you for helping me to see this best version of myself. Mr. Chris and Mr. Alioum, here, you know, yeah, you guys, yeah. You help students fall in love with subjects that they once hated, and you've become a parental figure and safe havens for most and many of us. Your impact reaches far beyond any classroom. Dr. Paul, I need to see Dr. Paul. Where's Dr. Paul? Dr. Paul, wherever you are. Dr. Paul, you know you have a special place in my heart, Dr. Paul. I love you, Dr. Paul. Aisb itself has been my third home for more than 11 years. Even when I briefly left for an academy and I got injured, Aisb welcomed me back with open arms. Thank you for that. And if you're wondering where my second home is, well, it's 15 minutes away in Pila. Mama Fatima and Papa Bega, thank you for being parental figures, inspirations, and blessings to everyone who walks through your door. Finally, to the entire Aisb community, students, parents, faculty, staff, and friends, thank you for being part of our journey and making life a bit more peaceful and a lot more memorable. Class of 2025, we have honored our past, now let's go embrace the future. God bless Aisb, and God bless every one of y'all. Now I want to call my classmates up here with me to throw our hats in the air.
Let's take our seats, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next on the agenda, kindly take your seats, please. At Aisb, we do not only take care of our students' academic needs, we look after their social and emotional needs, and that's why each grade level has what we call advisors. These advisors are the go-to people for each grade level, people who would know when a student is sick, when a student is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, submitting their work on time, checking in with that student, finding out if they're feeling well, giving a shoulder for that student to lean on if they need one. So the class of 2025 has two advisors, Ms. Rasha and Mr. Aliun. It's time for them to be acknowledged, and they have a word or two for the graduating class. Advisors, it's the time.
So good afternoon, everyone. As the advisor for these four amazing young adults, I have had the rare privilege of watching them grow, not just as students, but as forces of character. Nelly, you were my first connection to Brazzaville long before I arrived. Your YouTube channel wasn't just a guide, it was a window into the soul of the city. But I will cherish most how you became the quiet backbone of this class. Whenever a peer struggled, you stepped in with patience and brilliance. You did not just teach chemistry, you taught us all how to lift each other up. Dorcas, you redefined resilience. When you whispered, I thought I was hopeless at science, but you changed that. You changed me. You showed up every day with punctuality, optimism, and the spirit that stitched this class together. And let's not forget, you and Nelly orchestrated prom fundraising like CEOs. Remember this. The girl who once doubted herself is now a young woman who moves mountains. Collins, my nickname King. Your joy was contagious. You cheered me on tough days and mapped your future with laser focus. While others stressed over college apps, You were 3 steps ahead and still made time to make us laugh. Yes, you had mood, we all do, but your fundamental kindness always shone through. Remember that blend of ambition and heart, that's your superpower. Emmanuel, our blooming star. The moment college acceptance rolled in, you transformed. Suddenly, we saw the clever, insightful mind we always knew was there. When you focused, wow, you solved problems faster than I could write them. You taught us a vital lesson. Potential blooms on its own timeline. To all 4, you entered this room as students. You leave as architects of your futures. Now go, build, explore, and stay gloriously yourselves. We are so proud of you.
Ça va aller, petit. C'est bon? C'est bon? Ok. Bonjour à tous, chers parents, chers collègues, chers invités, mais surtout très chers diplômés de la classe 2025. J'ai nommé Emmanuel Okoko, Doc Skiba, Nelly Achou, Helmut Collins-Viban. Ce moment, comme vous avez constaté, est un moment que nous vivons aujourd'hui qui est chargé d'émotions. Il marque la fin d'un chapitre, comme vient de le dire tout à l'heure Dr Viban et l'ambassadeur. Mais aussi, il marque le début d'un autre chapitre. Vous finissez juste aujourd'hui avec le lycée, mais vous entamez encore un autre chapitre et vous serez appelés donc des Bleus à l'université. Comme Miss Racha vient de dire tout à l'heure, donc j'ai eu l'honneur et le privilège d'avoir été avec vous pendant ces 4 dernières années. J'ai été à vos côtés pendant ce long voyage. Nous avons eu des hauts et des bas, comme dans toute relation. Nous avons eu à partager des rires. Nous avons eu des silences pleins de sens, comme dirait l'autre. On a eu aussi des conversations très profondes, des désaccords parfois, mais toujours dans le respect. Ce que je retiens avant tout de chacun d'entre vous, c'est que je vous ai vu grandir. Toi, Collins, Dawkins, Emmanuel, je vous ai vu grandir. Nelly nous a juste rejoint l'année passée, mais je vous ai vu grandir surtout en stature. Pas seulement en taille, mais en maturité. Je vous ai vu grandir en réflexion, mais surtout en prise de décision. Vous n'êtes plus les jeunes adolescents que j'ai connus en grade 9, ok? Vous êtes devenus des jeunes adultes, conscients, sensibles, mais surtout très courageux. Emmanuel Okoko. Emmanuel est un garçon très calme, d'accord, mais ton écoute et ta force tranquille ont toujours été une ancre pour le groupe que j'ai toujours conduit. Tu ne parles pas très souvent, c'est vrai, mais quand tu le fais, c'est juste pour dire l'essentiel. C'est quelque chose que j'ai toujours apprécié chez toi et je te demande de rester fidèle à cette lumière intérieure qui te guide. Nelly Achou. Nelly est la douceur que je dirais mêlée à la détermination. Elle est une personne bienveillante qui sait prendre soin des autres tout en gardant une vision claire de ce qu'elle veut. Tu es une force discrète, mais très puissante, Nelly. N'aie jamais peur de viser haut. Collins Viban. Quand je dis que j'ai eu des hauts et des bas, c'est surtout avec lui. Yeah. J'ai eu beaucoup d'histoires avec Collins. Collins n'est pas seulement un élève pour moi, mais c'est comme un enfant, comme il dit. C'est quelqu'un qui a appris à se confier à moi. J'ai l'habitude de dire à Dr. Viban que je sais beaucoup de choses sur Collins qu'elle ne sait pas. Yeah. C'est un enfant qui se confie beaucoup à moi. Collins est un tourbillon d'énergie. Parfois, il est difficile à canaliser, mais ce qu'il faut surtout apprécier chez lui, c'est sa sincérité. C'est quelqu'un de très honnête. Quand il n'apprécie pas quelque chose, il n'a pas froid aux yeux. Il te dira ça droit aux yeux. Il te dira exactement ce qu'il pense. Tu es celui qui m'a le plus challengé, je pense, parmi mes élèves. J'ai énormément appris avec toi. Je te respecte tout d'abord pour ta résilience, mais je te respecte pour le cœur que tu as. Ne laisse jamais personne éteindre le feu qui est en toi, Collins. Dorcas Kiba. Depuis sa tendre enfance, elle a toujours été une fille réfléchie, posée, avec une profondeur qui m'a toujours impressionné. Tu es une bâtisseuse. Tu es une bâtisseuse de tes idées. Tu es une bâtisseuse de tes valeurs, du scrupule et des valeurs surtout transmises de la famille. Je ne doute pas un instant que tu vas construire des ponts. Tu vas construire des ponts entre les cultures et les hommes. Continue d'être cette jeune femme intègre et inspirante que tu es. Je veux que vous sachiez que j'ai une histoire avec chacun de ces étudiants. Et à travers chaque échange, chaque regard, chaque silence, vous m'avez transformé aussi. Merci pour cela. Et tout à l'heure, Dr. Viban a eu à donner quelques conseils. J'ai entendu aussi quelques conseils de l'ambassadeur. Je voudrais juste ajouter quelques-uns, si vous le permettez. Je voudrais juste vous dire de ne jamais laisser la peur du doute bloquer votre ambition dans la vie. Jamais. Le monde que vous allez affronter après Aisb n'est pas toujours un monde tendre, comme a dit tout à l'heure Toston. Mais il a besoin quand même de jeunes comme vous, des jeunes lucides, sensibles, courageux et ouverts d'esprit. Vous n'avez pas à être parfait dans la vie, vous n'en avez pas besoin. Mais soyez juste vrai. Vous avez juste besoin d'être vrai. Soyez juste et soyez vous-même. Souvenez-vous que les plus grandes victoires ne sont pas toujours visibles. Parfois, juste tenir bon, continuer à espérer ou oser recommencer est une victoire. Aimer profondément, oser penser différemment, pardonner sans faiblesse et surtout, n'oubliez jamais d'où vous venez et ceux avec qui vous avez marché ensemble. Aujourd'hui, je suis fier de chacun d'entre vous, profondément fier. Allez là où vos rêves vous appellent et si un jour vous trébuchez, souvenez-vous de ces 4 années que vous avez passées ensemble, de ce que vous avez traversé et relevez-vous avec dignité. Je vous aime avec la tendresse d'un conseiller devenu témoin de vos envols. Félicitations, la classe 2025. Merci.
To conclude, I'd just like to thank all of you for being amazing parents and guests and friends of Aisb and for joining us here today. We hope you enjoyed the ceremony and we do hope that our graduates heard everything and every advice that they got today and will be able to keep it. and move forward as they embrace the future. At this point, we would have the official recessional, the graduates leading, and the faculty and the board ending. Please do not interrupt. If you're taking pictures, be on the side. We have to do our recessional as was planned, all the way down there, then we can have pictures. You have enough time to take pictures. And right after that, we have the buffet already set up. Everybody, you're welcome to share with us. It's a day to celebrate. We have enough to eat and drink. Please be our guests, not just for the first part. We hope to see you after the recessional and the pictures. Thank you again once more for being with us today. Have an excellent afternoon. Recessional.